is Asia, the fumbling farmer, out here. It is a nice 70 degrees on a November day here in Zone B in North Carolina. And we had a frost, or like below freezing temps, the last like a couple nights ago. So they were down like 28 degrees, 27 degrees. And I wanted to come out and just see like what survived. It's also been super duper dry, so I know everything is very dry, and I'm going to water it today, so don't judge me for that. It's been really dry and I gotta water stuff. So some of the stuff might be because it just needs water and not, but some of it you can clearly tell got hit by the cold. So here we go. First is my like herbs kind of here. This is cilantro. I don't know what this is, but it looks like something, so I left it there. And I mean, it's a little bit here, but I think it's fine, and I just have to water it. This parsley, sorry, crunchy leaves. This parsley looks decent. Again, it's really dry, and this parsley is struggling, but I think it might be because it's dry and not because of the cold. Same thing with this mint here. I plotted some mint up, and I think it's struggling because it's dry and not because of the cold, so I gotta water those. Deck plants are the hardest for me. You'd think they would be easier because they're close to the house, but no. All right, so this here, back here is cilantro. It's doing well. It has like new shoots coming up in the center. This was red Reuben basil, which went to seed and now it's dried up, and all those are little dry seeds I can plant in the future. And this here is thyme, so that's all doing pretty well. Again, it's really dry down there and it needs to get watered. Okay, down there is my daughter's garden. We cleaned it out last time, and I planted some tulip bulbs down there, and I'm going to go ahead and cover it with leaves today. Just get it covered with leaves. And then my other daughter's garden's over there, and it's a little bit cleaned out. It still needs some help, but yeah, it still needs some help, but it already got the leaves built into it, so that's that. Okay, let's keep going down the steps. Everything's all dry and crunchy. It's the sound of fall. Crunch, crunch, crunch. And let's go on over here to the main part of the garden. Actually, let's start over here. So this is where we had the garlic put in, and I think it's doing what it's supposed to do. Oh, I see a little garlic coming up right there. I'll see it, the little piece of green. I don't think we want it to come up yet though. We want it to just kind of stay there and sleep. But I'm gonna wet the leaves down, maybe add another pile of leaves to this bed, and then let it be. Over here, I'm going to uncover that in a little bit. But looking over here, the pepper plants, I honestly, like, this is obviously affected by the cold, by frost. But some of these droopy leaves, I think, are just because it needs watering. The peppers are still feeling pretty crisp. So some stuff like that is frost. What those droopiness I think, are just water. So I think I'm just gonna kind of water it and leave them there and see what happens. All right, the tomato obviously got hit by the frost. So I came out here and I pulled all the kind of bigger tomatoes off of it, and they're in a bucket inside, and they'll probably turn red. I had a thing of green tomatoes. I was like, what am I gonna do with it? And they all turned red, so problem solved. All right, here are the carrots. And like I said in the other video, I knew the carrots would be pretty much okay. See, there they are forming down there. And they're fine. Their leaves feel good and crisp and everything. And again, it needs watering. Here are the radishes, and they feel fine. They really need watering. And the turnips, these ones feel like they got a little bit hit by frost, but the bigger leaves are feeling okay. Smaller leaves seem like they had a rough time. And then these are the daikon radishes. The bigger leaves got hit by the frost, but the smaller ones coming up here, they have new leaves coming up, and they seem to be doing okay. So that's the deal with that. And we still have the great parsnip mystery. Like, is this parsnips or not? What do parsnips actually look like? So that's that great mystery. Is that what they look like? Or I don't know. And then there's my random garlic right here. All right, this pepper plant right here, we're gonna just cut it off at the roots. Actually, I'm gonna try to just cut this one off at the roots and see what happens. This pepper plant here, I think all of these I'm just gonna go ahead and cut off at the roots. But I have the sage down here, and the sage seems to be doing okay. The strawberries won't die. That's that. This cilantro is looking good. The tomato ground cherry plant went down, and then the chives are still looking good. So I'm going to come clear some of the sticks that fell from the tree. We have like trees growing directly overhead here, and so they offer some nice shade in the summer, but they also fall down in the garden bed. The oregano and the mint is looking pretty good. I cut them back and they're already kind of popping back up again. Who are you? Oh, you're a mint. Okay. So mint there. This is a mess. It was too far away to be watered frequently enough. So that's that. And this thyme over here is doing okay. And these chives look kind of bent over a little bit, but I think they're okay. All right. And now it is time for, speaking of time, it's time for me to uncover this thing. So I'm going to put y'all on your little perch and uncover this and see what it looks like underneath this tent thing. So here we go. Let me set you up. Okay, I'll be back. I'm really scared that I'm going to pull this back and everything's going to be eaten by some caterpillar or something like that. That's, I think, part of my controlling self. If I can't see it, then something must be going wrong. But anyway, here we go. Let's see. Y'all, not too shabby, just a little dry. That's the theme of today's video, just a little dry. So the cabbage, not cabbage, the collard greens and the lettuce looks good. I'm actually gonna, I was going to make, oh, what are you? And why are you on my stuff? I was going to make a salad tonight with those tomatoes that have turned red. And so I think I'm still gonna harvest some of these bigger leaves right now and use them in a fresh salad today. This is the one where I found the caterpillar on last time, but I'm thinking a lot of this chewed on stuff is from that caterpillar last time, because the new leaves in the middle don't have any chewings on. But everything else is looking pretty good. I think those were aphids on my lettuce, and I'm seeing a couple of them like on the back here, and so I'm just going to come through and kind of squash them down a little bit. so that they don't try to establish themselves here. And then when I wash my lettuce, I'll make sure I wash it with vinegar and baking soda, kind of kill everything and get everything off of there. So I don't know what these little things are, but I didn't plant them there, so I'm going to pull them up because I'm trying to keep this bed as neat as possible. So this bed looks good, y'all. My collard greens and my lettuce. Okay, let's go on over here. All right, in my thing over here, it's looking like I had planted spinach and lettuce, and 3 came up and 3 didn't, and I didn't know which was which, but it's looking like the lettuce came up, which is fine. I'll plant that out eventually. All right, this is looking a little bit dry, but y'all, look at this kale. Looks amazing. Maybe I'll get some kale today too. I mean, these ones are looking a little rough, but the new growth in the middle is looking good. But that one looks so pretty. Look at it. All right, so those are looking good. And the beets down here are looking okay. Maybe I'll give it some fertilizer water today. I wonder if that's okay. I think so. All right. This is the lemon balm. Still looks like it got a little bit cold and it was a little crusty, but it'll come back. The cosmos are still blooming like crazy people, and my cilantro is still over here looking good, and the rosemary looks good. And then over here we have Brussels sprouts down there, and then this is the one where it's either cauliflower or broccoli. I don't know which. And then again, cauliflower or broccoli. I don't know which. So this bed looks like it needs a little bit of weeding, like down here. It's crazy stuff going on. So I will weed it and then water it. And then my poor zinnias in a pot, they were keeping me company, and the frost took them out. But that's okay. It's their time. We gotta rest. We'll start over. Okay. I saw a squirrel hanging out in my strawberry box this morning. And I don't know if he was eating something or if he was trying to like bury a nut or something. So I don't know. My husband burned down a whole lot of leaves. It looks like some wood chunks too. And I'm going to add some of that to the empty beds. So that's what I'm fitting to do today. I'm going to leave these beds open. I'm going to water them with a little compost tea mixture and give them some extra water. I'm going to clean out all of the peppers there. Clean out the tomato over there, cover everything with leaves just so it's mulched, and I think that'll be it. That's my little November tour. I know it's short. I might come back later and add something else. I got a little project brewing in my brain, but I don't know if it's gonna work yet, so I ain't gonna say nothing. Actually, you know what, I'm gonna say it. I saw some lady build, she took like fencing, like the wire fencing, and she built like a container, circular container out of it, and she just jammed all her leaves in there, and she said let them decompose for like a year and you have some great leaf mold compost stuff. So I don't think I have the wire molding. Maybe I do, but I think I'm going to try to figure out some way to do that so we can use these leaves for good. And we're not just there sending everything off to in the yard waste bin, that we're actually using them, and in a year they'll be good. So we'll see. All right, anyway, but that's brewing in my brain, and I got to figure out what materials I have to build with it here that I don't have to buy anything new, how I can make it. It's going to be zip ties and a dream, y'all. That's what we're going to make it out of. Anyway, I'm going to get to work, and thanks for watching. Any suggestions would be good. And happy gardening, y'all. Alright, y'all. Here's an update on the garden update. I know I said I was just going to do some things and then go inside. And I did what I said I was going to do, but then I did a whole lot more too. So I figured I'd show y'all. So here we go. First thing I did, well, let's start over here, is I took that ash stuff from the fireplace, like the burnt leaves from the fire pit, and I put them down a lot of different places. So I came in here, put the ash down here, and then covered this bed with leaves. That's my little tiny sad peach tree. So, and there's a what's it called, a hydrangea back there that's also sad. This bin gets a lot of sunlight, so I'm trying to figure out the best thing, and it's the farthest from the watering, so I'm trying to figure out the best thing to put in there. Then I put down that ash in my daughter's garden here, and covered that up with leaves. Then I still got to pull that pole thing out, but I watered the garlic bed down and put the leaves on top of it again, so it's all covered up. So that little nib coming through is still down there somewhere. Then I did water this with fish fertilizer. I was going to use the compost, but I didn't have enough compost liquid in there to make a compost tea, so I watered those down, weeded these beds a little bit, and then I pulled up the trellis, so I unhooked everything, and I ended up cutting the peppers too, and then I put the leaf and wood ash down in there and watered it in, and then covered that with leaves. And then I did the same thing over here to this bed, and I covered that with leaves. So that's kind of where we are right now. Did I do anything else? Not build my leaf composting thingy like I said I was going to, because I've been out here for like 2 hours working on this stuff right now, and I think I'm finna go inside and take a shower and relax. But I just wanted to show you that I did actually a lot more than I said I was going to do, and it feels good. 3 of my beds are to bed for spring, set and ready to go, and I add compost early spring, like 2 or 3 weeks before I plan to start planting. So those beds are pretty much done for now. I'll come out once in a while if it doesn't rain for a while. I'll wet the leaves down just to make sure everything stays moist. And then my other beds are looking pretty good. It's going to be warm this week until I think Saturday, so I'm going to let them stay uncovered. And there's some other cleanup. I'll come out here and pull that stuff up and just clean stuff up a little. But for where we are right now, I am pretty happy. Go inside, take a shower. Alright y'all, thanks for hanging around for the update on the garden update. And I will talk to you later. Happy gardening, y'all.